Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from a throwaway account from the relationship advice subreddit and says, my wife, 38 female, told me, 39 male, that she doesn't love me and never did. How should I proceed? I overheard my wife telling her friend that she doesn't love me and never did. She married me because she was pregnant and thought that after giving birth to our baby, she might fall in love with me, but that never happened. When her friend left, I immediately asked her about it and we had an emotional discussion. She didn't deny it. She told me the same thing she told her friend and said it's true. That's how she feels. I asked her why she married me then. She said she'd rather marry a man she doesn't love who treats her right, with respect, takes care of her and her children, than a man she loves but who is a fool, incompetent, or lazy. I was shocked and hurt. I asked her what she thinks about our marriage, and she said it's the marriage she always wanted. To our credit, our marriage is really good. Respect is everything, so we never overstep each other's boundaries. And when we have a problem, we figure it out as a team. She never cheated, sexted, or did anything like that because she respects me too much, respects our marriage, and loves our children. Her words, not mine. She also said she knows it's the same on my part. I told her I'd like some time to think about it, and she said to take as much time as I need, assuring me she isn't going anywhere and will accept and work on whatever I decide. I don't know what to do. I'm hurt and confused. So I've been living a dream marriage with a woman who doesn't love me one bit. Basically, she settled for me because I was the best option at the time. To her credit, she's been an amazing wife and mother to our kids. Boy, 9 years old, girl, 11 years old. I have no doubts about her. She never cheated or hurt me in any other way. She's hardworking, always honest, and is a good role model for our children. I've been thinking of some things I could do. Maybe marriage counseling, but our marriage is one-sided in the love department. I love her with all my heart, and she knows that. I don't know how marriage counseling will help because it won't change her feelings towards me. I don't want a divorce. I love her. Our marriage is amazing, and our children have parents who are really there for them and who, if I can humbly say, are good role models. To sum it up, my part of the marriage is completely filled with love and respect, while hers is entirely based on respect alone. Minor edit. She earns more than me, so she isn't with me for my money. We have been married for 12 years and have known each other for about 15. I would like to add something here that I answered in the comments. We started as friends, then became friends with benefits, and over time we evolved into what we are now. I was her only friend with benefits. She had many friends, but I was the only one with benefits. Her ex-boyfriend treated her poorly, so I think that might have affected her to some extent. Not there to judge says therapy could be good. There was this one post sometime in the past which was basically the same thing, but from the wife's perspective. In the end, she realized that her definition of love was really stereotypical and that she actually did love her husband in her own way. It would be good if she verbalized what she thinks of you and what precisely she feels when she thinks about you / when she sees you. Opie says, I'm willing to have that conversation. How should I approach this? Should I just tell her I would like to go to some couples counseling, or maybe individual therapy could help her? And on the back of that comment, before we got into that, I was thinking about that post before as well. And will therapy help in some way? Because it did bring me back to that previous post where the wife did say in the end that she did, like that comment said, love her husband in her own way. But Red's Rack says, I agree, couples counseling could help. They can't make her fall in love with you, of course, but they could help her realize that perhaps what she feels is love. She respects you, values you, wants to be with you, admires you as a father and feels safe and secure. To me, those things are love. You may find that she defines love as some all-consuming passion, and counseling could reframe it. It's a strange one, isn't it? Because, like the first part of the post is pretty much explaining that they are a good couple. It's like, so what is missing here? Oh, the update says, I apologize if this post gets long. I'll provide more context to our situation and do my best to get the important things quickly. I went through most of the comments on my first post and wrote down some questions I wanted to ask my wife. I also figured I'd talk with her more times before bringing up marriage counseling. only if we can't find common ground or fix things ourselves. Like I said in one of my comments, I thought about a small trip over the weekend, just the two of us, no children. We could relax and have a proper heart-to-heart discussion. So I decided to take her to my grandparents' house. It's remote, surrounded by fields, forests, and there's even a river close by. It's pretty much a holiday house, when you want to leave the city and spend some time in nature. She loves nature, so I thought it's a good place. I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't anxious and really worried about asking certain questions and the implications of those questions. I decided to ask, even though I was fully aware that it could be painful. We left our kids with my parents and departed. She pretty much knew the purpose of this trip from the beginning, so in a way it was easier. When we got there, I didn't want to have a discussion immediately. I wanted us to spend some time together. We went for a walk in the forest, did some light work in the garden, took some pictures, and I made her dinner. I also made her a bouquet of flowers I found in the fields. After we had dinner, I brought it up. I told her that what she said a few days ago really hurt me, and that I would like her to share her feelings about me and our marriage so we can at least find middle ground. I also told her that I didn't like her sharing that with other people before talking to me first. She apologized to me and said she would explain. Basically, her friend is having problems in her own marriage. She's been married for 2 years and wondered how our marriage is so stable. She and her husband have a dynamic of fighting with each other one day and loving each other the next. My wife and I have never had a fight. We've had many disagreements, but we've never hurt each other, at least not until now. Eventually, she got to the problematic part and asked me if I heard what she said after that. I said no, because I really didn't. I overheard it when I entered the house to pick some things up I needed and then left. I was also zoned out and didn't pay attention to what was going on around me after hearing that. She explained to me that she never experienced that love with me. She thought it would get better over time, but it never did. I asked her why she didn't explain that when I asked her that day. She responded by saying that I was emotional, and whatever she said could have made it worse. She pretty much understood that whatever she said would have come across as an attempt to make someone feel better or forced. That's why she left me alone, knowing that we would have a talk about this. She was right. I then asked her some of my questions. Not all of them, because most of them got answered, but I was interested in these. What does she feel when she sees me? What happens after our children grow up? Did she ever feel that love towards somebody else? What will she do if something happens to me? She said that she feels at home, so she does love me and loves our marriage, but she isn't in love with me. When she sees me, there are no butterflies or fire that make her want to jump on me or rip my clothes off. She feels at home. As for our children growing up, nothing changes. We will still care for, help, and guide them. She explained that over the years, she had felt attraction towards certain men, but it quickly faded. When I asked her why she said that, even though she was initially attracted to them and they showed interest, something always felt off soon afterwards, which is why she removed herself from those situations. I asked her if she was never into me, why she slept with me and not with her other friends or other guys. She had plenty of friends, and as I mentioned in my first post, I was the only one with benefits. She explained that she felt safe and comfortable with me, something she never felt with anyone else. We became a thing after she broke up with her boyfriend. She opened up about the relationship, saying that he had been physically and emotionally abusive. This was the first time she had spoken about him. I had asked her about her first relationship many times before, but she always brushed it off, saying he wasn't worth mentioning due to how horribly he treated her. She said she wouldn't want to be anywhere else but next to me, and that she would take care of our children. At that point, I felt really bad about everything, and the whole discussion made me sad. I'd really like her to go to therapy. I think she still carries scars from all the abuse, especially emotionally, and a proper therapist could really help her. And for those telling me to leave, I won't. If she leaves in 10 or 15 years, so be it. I'd rather have a stable, safe, and drama-free marriage where I can raise my children properly, even if she doesn't love me to the same extent I love her, than spend years of my life searching for a woman who will love me to the same extent. I'm almost 40, and I'm too old to deal with all the drama that comes with dating. We also have sex at least twice a week, sometimes even more, so our intimacy is active, and she actively participates. A commenter asks OP, saying, what I'm getting out of this is that she does love you, completely, but doesn't know that it's real love. She may have been used to the kind of dramatic, tumultuous partner who abuses her and then love bombs her, and have come to know that as love, that she has chosen every day to be a loving partner and a good parent, even when presented with alternatives. Her sense of love is screwed up, but her actions speak louder to me. Definitely try to get her into therapy. I'm sorry for the way she thinks about this. It must be killing you. I don't think it's true. She does love you. I hope I'm right and that you can come to an agreement. I wish you both the best." Opie says I felt the same, and that is why I think it will be really beneficial for her to have a talk with a therapist. I will always be there for her. I will always listen to what she has to say, but I lack knowledge and experience in order to help her with this. The thing that's killing me is how long she's been in this state. She can't sort out her feelings and emotions, even during our talk. I always felt that her feelings are misplaced and all over the place. I will talk to her, and I will encourage and support her in getting professional help. And one more comment which says, "As someone whose first relationship was abusive, her feeling safe with you is 100% love. Everything you described as saying is what I feel with my husband. I don't feel butterflies, never did. And that for me, that is a good thing, because butterflies are just anxiety. I could not picture my life without my husband. He's my person. I'm happy with him, and I don't want to be with anyone else. That is love. It just isn't the type of love we see in movies, or that we feel when in the twisted clutches of an abuser, and that's a good thing. Ours is a love that stands the test of time." And I'm glad that they're sort of working through it, and those last couple of comments there really brought it home for me. And I did feel that way through a lot of the story, that does she get what love is? And then it came to the abuse part, and it's sort of like things started clicking into place really. But I really do hope that she does seek some therapy for her past trauma, and I really do wish them the best. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Confused 2024 from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit that says, "Am I the arsehole here? My husband wants a divorce and wants us to keep the house. My husband, 32, and I, 30, have been married for 10 years. Recently, he told me that he wanted a divorce because he wasn't happy. He came to the conclusion that he never really wanted to be married and wants to focus on his military career. I'd always supported his career. I asked him for couples therapy because of all of the problems he said we had were things that could be fixed. But he refuses and said our marriage can't be fixed. I have no choice but to let him go. However, he believes that him and I can still live in our house and live our separate lives, and he's already dating a girl from work. I cannot do this. When I told him that I wasn't comfortable with him dating yet, he accuses me of wanting to prevent him from moving on. I made it clear that if he wishes to date, he can do so, but I will not sit here and watch him do it because it kills me. I told him that I need to get away from him so that I can heal, and I refuse to live in the house while he goes off and starts a whole new life while somehow maintaining his old one. I told him I want to sell the house, and he's accusing me of trying to ruin him financially, especially because of our mortgage is so low. I'm currently half a year away from my bachelor's degree that would allow me to find a steady job, as the job that I currently have now does not pay enough for me to live on my own. However, I have a large support system that is willing to help me. So basically what I'm asking is, am I the arsehole here for wanting to move on with my life if it means that I have to force him to sell our house? I'm trying to work out the logic from him here. So he wanted to divorce so he can focus on his military career, but then gets in another relationship. This is screaming that this relationship has been going on for a lot longer than you know about. Doubling up with when you offered, couples therapy, he was absolutely adamant that your marriage can't be fixed. It says that he's moving on to this other person, and then he wants to maintain this relationship of staying in the same house together while, he's moving on right in front of your eyes. Of course you don't want to see that shit. Shut up, live your life, find someone that you deserve. OP's edit says, our marriage hasn't been great for a while and I knew this, so the last 6 months I've been trying to fix things. He, however, has told me he wanted this divorce months ago and was building up the courage to ask for the divorce. I know that what he's asking for is delusional. I guess I feel bad because he gave me a portion of his GI Bill for my schooling, which he's now threatening to take away. That's no big deal because again, I have a good support system. I'm graduating with a science degree, and in my area, I know I can find a good job with it. He's just assumed that since we always got along well, I would go along with his plan. Why would you assume that? That's just like such a weird ass thing to assume. Oh, I want a divorce from you, but I'm sure you'll be fine still living with me, and I'll find another partner and stuff, and we can just live like we was. What kind of delusion is that? But In the comments, someone says, so he's in the military and cheating on you with someone from the office, who may also be military. Get yourself a lawyer familiar with military law. If she is military, they both could be in a large amount of trouble. He may not have a military career to worry about. And check into his retirement. Your share is determined by how long you were married while he was in service. Don't sign away any of this, including the home. Get what is due to you. OP says he started hanging out with a large group of friends from his unit along with her in that group. I guess it just turned into something. If it did, so be it. I'll survive without him, but I did find out some of his friends were basically playing wingman for him, and that they have an idea that they're a thing. I also know that if his higher-ups find out that he's dating one of the girls in his unit, they will not be happy. A commenter says, not the arsehole, but why are you even asking this question? Why are you being so damn nice to him about everything? Why are you feeling bad? Was he abusive? Is that why you still think you need to please him by going along with what he thinks? Fuck him. He was cheating, obviously. Find a lawyer ASAP, and under no circumstances for you to leave the marital home. For any reason. Not even for a weekend to clear your head. Do not leave. Opie says you are right. I've always been a very logical thinker, but he kinda pulled the rug from under me. Now that the dust is settled, I can see that he's completely delusional. Another commenter says, I've been trying to fix things, and then says, could you elaborate? Opie says, we are both pretty busy people. Him with the military, and I go to school full time, and I work part time. As a result, we kinda drifted apart. The past 6 months, I've been trying to spend more time with him and take up more of his interests, but it was already too late for him. Another commenter says, not the arsehole, but I do have a question. If you have a good support system as you say, why would you ask Redditors this question and not the people around you? I'm just curious and mean no offense. Opie says, mostly because I wanted an unbiased opinion. My support system would do anything for me. I'm grateful to have them, but they are currently seeing red, as am I. I don't like to make big decisions based off of emotion, but logically selling this house and getting my fair share is the only option. One of those comments made it sound like they could get in a lot of trouble because of the whole dating thing. I imagine, dating people within the same unit could get yourself in a lot of trouble, but is there additional trouble for the cheating itself in a marriage? Does that play a part in the military? I really don't know. I'm throwing that question out there. OP comes in with her update and says, so this is a small update from my last post. Thank you to mostly everyone for being so kind. I've been in contact with a lawyer and all of my bases are covered there. I told him I was not budging and that our house was going to be sold or he can buy me out. He's agreed to sell. The interesting part is that the girl he has been seeing was under the impression that I was okay with their arrangement. He basically told her that we were separated but still living together. She now knows the truth and does not want to see him. We met up and compared text messages and stories. He's been lying to her. Why he thought I couldn't easily just search her up and get in contact with her is beyond me. But I had a feeling he was lying to her. When it was explained to him that what he did was completely wrong, he's now remorseful and apologetic for hurting me. I didn't believe him. Either way, this divorce is going to happen and good luck to the next girl that deals with him. I've started therapy to help me adjust, but I know I'm going to be okay. And honestly, I don't want to be with someone who's willing to hurt me like that. That is all for now. Someone says to OP, are you going to alert the military? OP says I decided not to, simply because I'm not looking to harm anybody. If I did it, it would harm her. It's never a good idea to have a relationship with your co-workers, but she isn't at fault for my husband's shitty behavior. And the commenter says you had to explain to him what he did was wrong. Was he raised by wolves? OP says, I did a borderline thesis to get him to see it. Wow. Now, I'm not sure how true this is, if it's in the US or where this is. I just Googled about extramarital sexual conduct sort of thing and the military laws, I guess. And it says the maximum punishment for adultery or extramarital sexual conduct is a dishonorable discharge, forfeiture of all pay and allowances, and confinement for up to 1 year. So that dude is incredibly lucky she isn't going down that path. Holy moly, what a card to play if she wanted to. And that last comment there where it said you had to explain to him what he did was wrong, and she sort of said, yeah, I had to. It kind of just made me feel like he's playing dumb, so she doesn't report him like, oh sir, I really didn't know, I'm so sorry. He must know the consequences of his actions here. There's no way you can say, I didn't know that cheating was wrong. But fair play to OP for getting themselves out of that situation, taking what's rightfully theirs in it, and just moving on with their life. Fair play to them. But of course, I'm sorry that they had to go through that absolute shit show to begin with. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly, I really do appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here, getting involved in the channel, showing your love, not just towards me, but towards other members of the channel, towards the stories as well. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And I will see you, you bloody cheeky so-and-so, in the next one. Take care and much love.
Yeah, man, I remember being so naive when life was good, weather and palm trees. Back in the day, you were everything I need. But then along came a time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you played me like a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't thick enough to read. Oh yeah, you see we in despair, crime everywhere. You're selling false hope cause you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. Nah, you just don't care. You just don't.